Leadoff infield base hit for Xavier Edwards, and that's how this one starts for the Fish here in Game 3.
Oh, they really play Edwards to pull. Arias, the shortstop, was way up the middle. There you see where Arias is. He just slaps the ball off the end of the bat. And when you're playing that deep at shortstop, you really have no shot of getting the speedy Edwards.
So a nice start for the Marlins, and here is Kyle Stowers, who was 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI last night. First off, Edwards was running, but Stowers hit that cutter foul.
Yeah, you got to give him a chance to steal the base. Edwards, when you steal early, and that's what I love to see from guys with speed, and they're going to have a lot of stolen bases, steal in the first couple pitches. Stowers just needed to be a little bit more patient, let Edwards get to second base.
Kyle was 2 for 4 with a double and a run batted in the middle game, 2 for 6 in the series. 4 for 25 for the Marlins on the road trip. No balls and 1 strike to count on Stowers in the pitch. This is up and away. Edwards at first has a team leading 22 stolen bases this season. I just told you that this Marlins lineup tonight, the same exact one they used to fuel their 13-run, 17-hit outburst in Game 2. There's a swing and a miss. Well, prior to last night, the Marlins used this same lineup last week against the Astros when they pounded out 6 runs on 14 hits. So this identical lineup, the last 2 times that they've come together, a combined 19 runs on 31 hits. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Marlins are going to run it back here tonight. They'd also love another 4-run, 3-hit. Top of the first inning, Marlins got the leadoff homer from Edwards last night. And the 3-run homer later on in the top of the first from Jacob Marcy. 1-2 coming here to Stowers. But first, the check in on X. It's nice to see the Marlins snap their 4-game losing streak in a dominant offensive fashion last night. Gavin Williams only went 3 innings for the Guardians, allowed 4 runs on 5 hits. You would suspect that Stephen Vogt needs a little bit more out of a starter here in Game 3.
I would think so. He would hope so.
Bullpen had to work last night. And his bullpen surrendered 9 runs on 12 hits over 6 innings yesterday. And there's ball 3 to Kyle Stowers.
Last start for Bybee, 5 1/3 to give up 4 runs, walked 4, 7 strikeouts against the White Sox. That outing in 98 pitches.
3-2 coming with Augustine Ramirez waiting on deck. And a cutter misses inside, ball 4. And the Marlins have runners at first and second with nobody out here in the first. Well, let's take a look at Tanner Bybee's arsenal, shall we? StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
Well, the fastball about 94, 95. He's trying to find it right. Hovers around about a 5 for Bybee.
Well, here's Augustine Ramirez, who's batting .236 with 17 homers. Bybee signed a 5-year contract extension on March 22nd. Runs through the 2029 season. Since making his debut on April 26th of 2023, he leads the Guardians in wins, starts, innings pitched, and strikeouts. Ramirez gets that fair over the bag at third. This puppy's rolling all the way down the left field line. Edwards will score from second. Throw comes in towards third. An RBI double for Augustine Ramirez. 1-0 Miami, and looking for a whole lot more here in the top of the first.
Well, you just showed the graphic of how hard that 2-seamer gets hit, almost at a 300 average, 298. Well, that was a 2-seam fastball. Inside, tried to get it in, couldn't get it in far enough. This stays fair, rolls around that left field line. Kwon gets it in quickly. Keeps Stowers at third. Nice to see, yeah.
Ball was scalded off the bat of Augustine. So 1 home, a single, a walk, and an RBI double. Still nobody out. Here's Liam Hicks. The Cleveland infield is going to have to play in.
I'm at 116 miles an hour off the bat.
Oh, it sounded a little different. Nice start for the Marlins. Here is Hicks. He's having a nice road trip, actually. 6 for 16. There's Augustine. That run batted in for Augustine. His 55th of his rookie season.
Well, if you're Hicks, you just want to try to put it in play. They're playing in the pull. Big hole over there in the shortstop area, with Arias playing up the middle again, almost right next to Ramirez. Everything's been up in the zone, so it might be pretty easy to try to lift something in the air, get a little sacrifice fly out of it, maybe base hit.
The Cleveland pitching's been okay, but even in their 4-3 win on Tuesday, they still issued the 7 walks, had 6 strikeouts. They've been living on the edge in this series. Marlins trying to make them pay once again here tonight. 0-2 coming from Bybee to Hicks. Foul will do it again. "13 pitches deep into the top of the first is Bybee. There's his line last Friday on the south side of Chicago. Walked 4, struck out 7, 4 runs, 5 hits, over 5 in the third, and 98 total pitches. And again, the 0-2 is sent foul back to the screen. What a nice road trip is Liam Hicks. 6 for 16, a double, 2 RBIs. He's got a hit in 8 of 11 games this month. Marlins quickly coming out of a rough last week. There's the 0-2 again. It's in the dirt. Squirts away from Hedges, who's making a start behind the plate for the Guardians tonight.
This is what you have to love about the Marlins offense and the way they go about their at-bats and how much they battle. You know, you get behind 0-2, you spoil a couple pitches, you foul it off, you get a pitch in the dirt. You're starting to see Bybee really well. This is a 6th pitch in this at-bat.
Last offering was a sweeper. 1-2. And that's right at the top of the zone. Called strike 3 on Liam Hicks. And there's one away here in the first for Bybee, and here comes Otto Lopez.
Now that's that 2-seam fastball. Look how it starts right at Hicks's hip, and it breaks out over the middle of the plate. You get that kind of movement. A left-handed hitter gives up on that pitch, thinking it's going to be a ball. It comes back over.
Had a little sink. Hicks probably saw it up in the zone, which was why he laid off of it.
Yeah, you're seeing it right out of the hand coming at you. And immediately you give up on it, knowing, okay, this is going to be a ball. And next thing you know, it has that good action back over the plate.
So 1 out now, and here is Otto Lopez.
Bartolo Colon and Greg Maddux. So those guys were so good at that 2-seam fastball. It started right on the inside corner, almost at the hip of a left-handed hitter, and just scratches that edge, and the hitter just gives up on it. There's nothing really he could do.
There's a throw back towards third. Diving back in safely is Kyle Stowers. Otto Lopez hitting .311 with runners in scoring position this season. He could use a hit. He's hitting just .167 in the month of August over 13 games. 1-1 coming here. And there's a weak ground ball out to short. Arias coming to the plate, and no, the ball got away. They call him safe, and 2 runs are going to score. The home plate umpire, Clint Vondrak, signaled out, but on the slide coming in, Stowers knocked the ball loose. Vondrak saw the ball get away. In 2 runs scored, it's 3-0 Miami.
Well, it's an easy play. For 1 out, with 1 out, you're going to go on contact. Arias makes a nice throw. Stowers, good slide from the outside part of the plate. He gets in, and there you see that ball. It comes out. Hedges didn't have great control of it. He had a snow cone going. It was an easy play at home, and he botched it. And how about Ramirez coming in from second?
How about that hustle from second base? Here's a
you come back. The ball was barely in the mitt. You got to be able to hang on to that ball. That's an easy play. And then Ramirez, a great hustle, and he also scores.
3-0 Marlins. Marlins. And here is Jacob Marcy, who had a historic night in Game 2 for the Marlins. Showed you in the open, he matched the Marlins single-game RBI record last night with 7. And he's batting .436 to start his major league career with 3 homers, 13 runs batted in, and 6 stolen bases. Here's one more look at the ball coming out when Stowers came in at the plate.
This is an easy play for a catcher. You know, look at the ball. It's at the top of his glove. Nice slide. You know, Stowers didn't try knocking it out. It just hit him in the chest. It comes out. And then how about Ramirez scoring from second?
Well, you're right.
That ball didn't get very far.
No, it might be the most impressive part of that play, to score from second on that play.
I mean, Hedges, I think the Guardians fell asleep a little bit once that ball came out. Hedges didn't know where it was. It only leaked out maybe about 20, 25 feet from home.
Well, there's a fielder's choice and an RBI, and the second run scores on an E2. Now the runner at first takes off, and a throw down to second base. He's out. They got him. I don't know if that was a pitch out, but it certainly served as one, and there's 2 away now.
Well, let's look at the defense for the Guardians. We've seen a lot of them already. Juan Martinez and Cephas are your outfielders. Ramirez, Arias, Rocchio, Manzardo. He was the designated hitter the first 2 games. He's over at first. Hedges behind the plate, catching Bibee.
Now a 2-2 coming to Jacob Marcy is called strike 3. 3 runs, 2 hits, an error, nobody left on base. Fabulous start for the Fish. Ocean Bank starting lineup for the Cleveland Guardians tonight. It'll be Juan Martinez and Ramirez, followed by Manzardo, Arias, and Cephas. Fry, Rocchio, and Hedges. The starting 9 for the Guardians tonight. Stephen Votes Ball Club. 3 days, 3 different lineups. Well, here he comes, and he's been spotted 3 runs. Edward Cabrera making his 21st start of the season. He has been the most consistent starting pitcher in this rotation for Miami.
Yeah, last outing tied a career high with 8 innings of 1-run ball, 11 strikeouts. That's a career high. 109 pitches also tied a career high.
Stephen Kwan leading off the bottom of the first for the Guardians, who with a win tonight would pull within a half game of the Yankees in the wild card picture. But the way that Eddie Cabrera is going, if you're going to spot him 3 runs out of the gates,
could be a long night.
Needless to say, this is an uphill climb here for the Guards. 2-1 coming to Kwan. That misses up and away. Stephen Kwan in this series is 1 for 8. He, like Xavier Edwards, led off the first inning with a homer last night. That was his 10th of the year. Bunts the 3-1 in the air foul.
I don't get it. 3-1 count, and you're going to get the same pitch, probably 3-2. I know you're trying to get on base, and he is a terrific bunter, and he doesn't strike out a whole lot. But I think you just probably offered it ball 4.
So 3 balls, 2 strikes to count on Kwan, left-handed hitting left fielder for Cleveland. Hitting .275. 3-2 is lofted in the air, shallow left. Stowers coming on, can't get it. Leadoff man aboard for Cleveland.
Now let's look at the defense for your Marlins. You have Stowers, Marcy, and Hernandez over there in right field. Paulie, Lopez, Edwards, Johnston getting the start tonight at first. Hicks behind the plate catching Cabrera. Johnston was in right field last night's ball game for a short period.
Here is Angel Martinez, and he rips this into right field, down for a base hit. Kwan's around second, headed towards third. No throw by Edwards, the cutoff man. And just as soon as the Marlins get 3 in the top half of the first, the Guardians have him on the corners with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning for Jose Ramirez.
Now that's that 2-seamer. He jumped all over the first pitch. And if anything with Cabrera, if you can say, hey, you might need to improve on this, is that 2-seam fastball. .330 batting average against that 2-seam fastball. Just have to command it a little better. It's really good. It's 96 to 98 miles an hour with a lot of sink. Plays really well with that hard changeup.
And here's the Guardians star. It's Jose Ramirez, who's 4 for 7 with 2 homers and a double in this series. And as they say, it might just be one of those nights. Interesting start to this one. A lot of offense early. The runner from first goes, and Ramirez bangs one out to center field. That'll play to run. Martinez will stop at third, and it's 3-1. Team leading 64th run batted into the season for Ramirez.
Well, another 2-seam fastball there. You see Hicks. He's got to get out there a little bit further, a little bit quicker, I think. Give Cabrera a better target. That pitch stayed out over the middle of the plate, and that 2-seamer was up. And so far in this first inning, both starters having a hard time keeping the ball down.
3 runs, 2 hits, an error in the top of the first. 3 singles to lead off the bottom of the first. Here's Manzardo, and the runner goes. They throw through, not in time. 34th stolen base for Ramirez. Just like that, the tying run is at second with nobody out.
Well, the Guardians, they're about the middle of the pack at stolen bases. Now they're going to try to push the issue. It depends on who's on the mound, who's behind the plate. Cabrera really doesn't hold runners on very well, so they're going to test both him and Hicks.
0-1 to Manzardo is cut on and missed, and it gets away from Hicks. He can't find the baseball. Another run is going to score, and it's 3-2. Oy vey. It's an odd start here, Nelly. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, crazy game so far. This is that curveball there. You see it spiked. You just got to get out there. It's really tough when you're catching on one knee to be able to move to the inside part of the plate. You got to swing. No good reaction from Martinez over at third. That's an easy run.
And the infield is in. Still nobody out. The 0-2 is cut on and missed. That's the first strikeout for Cabrera. 2 runs have scored on 3 hits, a stolen base, and a wild pitch. Inhale and exhale. Clayton McCullough thinking, what on earth is going on here in the first inning? I loved what I saw in the top of the first.
Well, pretty similar to last night's ballgame. You score 4. Well, next thing you know, this man right here tied it up at 4 apiece. Arias with the 3-run homer.
It was a game of swings last night. Marlins with 4 unanswered to start. Cleveland got 4 back, and then 9 unanswered from the Marlins from the 5th inning on to win 13-4. Arias with a broken back, ground ball up the middle, bobbled by Lopez. It hit his leather, popped into his bare hand. He throws out Arias, or Manzardo. No, Arias, I beg your pardon, but Ramirez scores, and we're tied at 3.
Ramirez had a huge jump. With 1 out now in baseball, you're going to go on contact. You watch this jump by Ramirez. As soon as he's off, he can run. And Lopez would have been an impossible play to home. Your best bet is going to first. Wasn't hit very hard. It was a broken bat.
Here is C.J. Kafis now.
It's just like it started.
Jeez.
0-0. 3-3.
3 singles, a strikeout, RBI ground out. Kafis batting with nobody on and 2 out. 1 for 5 in the series. 0-2 on Kafis, making his 9th start, 11th Major League appearance tonight. 16 pitches for Cabrera here in the bottom of the first. We are level set at 3 aside. There's a swing and a miss. That was an angry fastball from Cabrera. And after 1 inning of play here in Cleveland, Ohio tonight, we are tied at 3. Eight-time All-Star, won a Triple Crown as well.
When I was a young minor leaguer, I grew up in Baltimore, and I got to meet Bob Feller at a banquet in Maryland, and he was a nice guy. You know, he was one of those pitchers that if they clocked him today, he might be the hardest thrower. I mean, this guy threw about 98 to 99, 100 miles an hour, legit, when it crossed the plate. That's what hitters saw.
You know, you don't see much anymore as a pitcher win the Triple Crown. You hear about it a lot offensively, but the pitcher's version of the Triple Crown is the pitcher who leads their respective league in wins, strikeouts, and ERA. You don't see that a whole lot anymore.
I got to meet him a little bit, talk to him a little bit. It wasn't much on signing autographs.
No?
No.
It'll cost you.
Big old hands, too.
3-1 to Heriberto Hernandez in there for a called strike. So wouldn't you know, the way baseball goes, this thing will probably end 4-3 tonight, don't you think? We'll just settle right in after the 6-run, 5-hit, 1 error-filled first inning. This is popped up. Foul territory. Hedges is over, and he runs out of room.
Well, let's see how both pitchers come out in the second inning, see if they do settle down.
They have no choice.
Yeah. But with Bybee, you know, the Marlins do such a good job. Bybee can get ahead, but he's not putting hitters away. The Marlins doing a really nice job of fouling some pitches off.
Well, he fell behind Heriberto Hernandez. And a payoff pitch up coming here. It's foul tipped and hung on to by Hedges. Third strikeout of the night for Bybee. Well, make sure you stream every out-of-market game live or on demand. Plus stream MLB Network 24/7 for the entire season. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Some Marlins fans in attendance here at Progressive Field tonight. Here is Troy Johnston.
That's the Marcy clan.
Was it?
Yeah, I think they have like 3 or 4 sections today. They all came down after last night's performance.
Well, we saw Mom, Dad, and brother get in the car at the hotel around 3 o'clock today. Johnston in the air to left. Hit it pretty good going back is Kwan. He's got it. Quickly 2 out for Tanner Bybee here in the second inning. And here comes Graham Pauley, who had a career night last night.
Dearborn, Michigan is where, at Old Tiger Stadium, that's where all the teams stayed. They had like 3 different hotels right by this mall. And that's where it was probably, I would say, 30 to 40 minutes to the park.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a ways. But everybody stayed in Dearborn.
First pitch to Graham Pauley. Misses up and away. Graham hit .375 with 3 homers over his last 7 games. And he had his first ever 4-hit game in the major leagues last night. He's settling in. Just got underneath that fastball from Bybee at 94. He has been a lot of fun to watch. Pauley, that is. And I feel like we mentioned this a lot, but he comes up. Connor Norby gets hurt. Connor's working his way back. He was doing some ground ball work earlier today, but he's been given. Paulie has everyday looks, and he's performing very well. Foul tips that sweeper. It's held on to by Hedges, and now it's 1-2.
Is there any news with Norby? I was watching him as well. Taking ground balls, looked really good. Looked really good yesterday. Taking batting practice.
Yeah, ahead of schedule would be the news. Remains to be seen if and when Connor returns here in 2025. Paulie 5 for 13 on the road trip, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, 4 walks, on base a ton. But he pops this up. Should be playable for Jose Ramirez. It is in a perfect 1-2-3. Top of the second inning for Tanner Bybee. Up to Boston will be at Fenway Park. Sandy Alcantara versus Lucas Giolito. Marlins will be getting the heavy hitters for the Red Sox this weekend. Giolito, Bayo, and Crochet. Come get some. Eddie Cabrera starts off David Fry with a strike to begin the bottom of the second. And now Fry, who's the aging tonight, pops one into shallow center. Otto Lopez is there. He puts the squeeze on out number 1. Make sure you stream Miami Marlins baseball live on the FanDuel Sports Network app, presented by T-Mobile.
Boston finds themselves 5 games back from the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays winning today 2-1 over the Cubs. Red Sox did not play.
Those Cubby Bears are scuffling a little bit. Here's Brian Rocchio. See, they brought up their top prospect Owen Casey today.
I did.
But to no avail. Comes a loss 2-1. Here's a fly ball in the air to left or right. Hernandez settles underneath it. And Rocchio's out. There's 2 away. So after a crazy and eventful first inning, Bybee goes 1-2-3 in the second. And now Cabrera has retired the first 2 here in the home half of the second inning. And here comes Austin Hedges, a light-hitting backstop. He's been at it for a long time now in the league, but he does play sparingly. Gives Bo Naylor a day off when he can. You know, Stephen Vogt said after the ball game last night for the Guardians, you know, this really isn't who we are. This was just a one-off. Imagine what he was thinking in the first inning as that thing unfolds.
Do I have to repeat what I said? Hopefully they recorded it. Well, usually backup catchers are usually your better defensive catchers. I'm sure Hedges would love to have that play in that first inning back where he dropped the ball. Allowed 2 runs to score.
Stephen Vogt knows a thing or two about catching. 1-1 coming to Hedges. He was way out in front of the curveball. Boy, did that ever fool him. It's 1-2. Quieter second inning so far for Cabrera. Both starters struggled in the first. This is ripped on a line to left. That will fall in front of Stowers. 2-out base knock for the Guardians, courtesy of Austin Hedges. The leadoff batter, Stephen Kwan, will bat for the second time in as many innings.
Yeah, that one right there just made 0 sense to me. You get a bad swing on a breaking ball, and he looked really poor on that curveball. And he's hitting 128, and you give him a cookie, a fastball right down the middle of the plate, and he gets a base hit. You have to learn how to read swings. You get one bad swing on a breaking ball, you don't veer away from that pitch. You just go right back to it, end the inning.
So here is Kwan now, who's 1 for 1. Singled and scored in the bottom of the first. Kwan now 2 for 9 in the series. Slider almost hit him. Kwan dances out of the way. It's a ball and a strike. Big game here tonight. 31st all-time regular season meeting between the Guardians and the Marlins. The all-time season series is tied at 15 aside. Changeup misses low. Ball 2. Cleveland is 16-8 since the All-Star break. They've won 6 of 8, 10 of 13, and 22 of their last 31. That is since snapping a 10-game losing streak on July 7th. High slider's a called strike, and now it's 2-2 on Kwan. For the Guardians tonight, this is their 15th rubber match of the season. And the Cleveland boys are 7-7 in such contests. 2-2 coming as yanked foul. Hey, coming up next, Kelly Sacco is going to chat with Yuri Perez. That'll be fun. Yuri pretty good last night. He'd love to have the one pitch back to Gabriel Arias. But other than that, I mean, it was pretty good. Curveball dances outside. Now the count is 4.
Got a little visitor in the booth here, Kyle. That bird flew right over my head. Right behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to find his way out.
Oh, goodness, go. Get out of here. No! Runner goes, and that's grounded foul. Did you clip him? Did you hit him?
A little bit. He was going to land on my head.
You clipped him.
I did. I tried to help him out. He's seeing nothing but clear windows, trying to make himself.
He hit the window. He's on the 7-day concussion IL.
I had to smack him out a little bit.
Right to the concussion IL. It was a heavy hand you swatted him with as Quan swats this in the air. Shallow, right field side. Hernandez is over. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Before the ball hit the netting. A terrific catch by Heriberto Hernandez.
¿Cómo pudiste enfocarte después del primer home run?
Bueno, yo lo tomé muy normal. Dije, bueno, que sea una carrera, vamos a seguir compitiendo y ayudar al equipo a ganar. Vamos a salir a disfrutar del juego.
He said, listen, after that one, he let it roll off his back. He said, that's just one run. Let me refocus and help the team win the ball game. The team responded by putting up 13 runs with a great offensive performance. What was it like watching what they did offensively? ¿Cómo fue ver los bateadores anoche?
Increíble. Ese apoyo que me dieron ahí para poder ganar el juego fue increíble. Los muchachos hicieron un buen trabajo. En todos los innings estuvieron dando hit, ayudándome con la carrera y todo eso se sintió súper bien.
He said it was incredible watching what the hitters were able to do yesterday. They gave him a ton of run support every single inning, just continuing to tack on and collect more hits. Before I let you go, Eury, how comfortable are you feeling coming off of Tommy John surgery? ¿Qué tan cómodo te sientes después de Tommy John?
Me siento saludable, gracias a Dios. La recuperación ha sido excelente. Después de los juegos me siento bien, que es lo importante, y al salir de juego estoy saliendo saludable. Agradecido con Dios por toda la salud que me ha dado.
He said he's so thankful to God for how healthy he's been feeling. He said after every single start, he's just feeling healthy in his own body and feeling good every single day that he is out there. Eury, thank you so much for the time. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you, guys.
Back to you guys.
Must be really sunny down there.
Oh, goodness. That was a fabulous interview. It was hard to focus, though. Kelly had her, what you call them, her hater blockers.
These are our hater blockers.
And whose are those,
Nuestros
Kelly?
Lentes. Mine are just from Mango. ¿Y tus lentes de dónde son? Oh, they're not even his. They belong to Alone. Are they yours, Alone?
Olus.
There you go.
De Israel.
There you go. They're not even his,
Oh,
but he's
okay.
rocking them. It's as if they are his.
All right, Kelly. Well, thank you very much. We'll chat with you soon.
I'll chat with you guys later.
I love how much they welcome her down there in the dugout. Just hanging out. Just chit-chatting. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's the count on Xavier Edwards, who extended his hitting streak with a single in the first. Here he flies one in the air to right. Kafis is over to his left. And he makes the catch. There's one away, and let's get you a quick message here from FPL.
At FPL, we plan for storm season all year.
That hitting streak for Xavier Edwards, by the way, now sits at 9 games after his first inning single. Here is Kyle Stowers, who walked and scored in the first. He gets that foul. You know, going back and looking, Nelly, I thought they had originally given Otto Lopez an RBI on that fielder's choice, but they went E2 all the way, so no RBI on the fielder's choice allowed both
Yeah,
to score.
I could probably see it. You know, when you catch the ball and you have it in your glove and all of a sudden it's knocked out, that's an error.
Yeah, no RBI. There's a fielder's choice. E2 allowed 2 runs to score. It was a rather eventful first inning for both sides. Both teams scoring 3 runs in the first. Nothing in the second. 1 out, nobody on here at the top of the third. It's nice to see Kyle Stowers get going a little bit last night. 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI. He snapped a pretty nasty funk last night. He got himself out of a 2 for 24 stretch with 2 hits in game 2. As he waits on the 1-2 from Tanner Bybee. And that is right there in the inside corner for strike 3. It's good fastball, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be tough for lefties if he's able to do that 9 times out of 10. That's a really good 2-seam fastball that he just starts at the lefty's hip and it catches that inside edge. And like we talked about before, when he got Hicks on that same pitch, left-handed hitters, they just give up on that pitch, and when it comes across, you're like, you got to be kidding me.
Pride of Cal State Fullerton, Tanner Bybee. Let's take a look at tonight's Baptist Health matchup for you. After the 0-1 offering to Augustine Ramirez. Fastball there at the top of the zone. It's 0-2. Now here's your Baptist Health matchup. The highest strikeout looking percentage in Major League Baseball this season. Bybee trailing only Luis Severino, 37%. Ramirez pops this up, down underneath a sweeper. Bybee calling everybody off. It's Manzardo coming in from first to retire the side.
You know, 96 and a third. He keep in shape. You train to pitch. If you're a starter, you stay healthy. Now you're about 30, 32 starts. Used to be 35, 36. You see him throw about 150, 165 innings.
Yeah, making his 21st start tonight. It's August 14th, so there's
7
weeks
more
left in the season. Seven more.
7, 8. Yeah.
He could get to 29. Angel Martinez is cut on in this. Martinez singled and scored in the first. Martinez in center field tonight. He was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And he started in center field in game 2. He's also played a lot of second base this season. And there's a swing and a miss. A strikeout for Yuri. It's his 3rd of the ball game, and there's 1 away here in the 3rd.
There's that power changeup at 95 miles an hour. A circle change, a lot of movement away from a lefty.
Lost his bucket. Here's Jose Ramirez. He's having a good series. But so-so August, I suppose you could say, hitting just .256 with 4 homers and 7 RBIs coming into this one tonight. He is the leader in the Guardians clubhouse in each major offensive category. If you're talking about average homers, RBIs, and stolen bases. 1 for 1 tonight with a run scored, an RBI, and a stolen base. He sends one in the air to right center. Hernandez is calling off Marcy. Yeah, there's 2 out. It looked to me, Nelly, like Cabrera got very angry there at the conclusion of the bottom of the first when he threw a fastball right by C.J. Kafis, and really since then he's actually settled in a little bit outside of the 2-out fastball and the base hit by Hedges.
Yeah, you wonder if he relaxed a little bit to start that inning, knowing that he had a 3-0 lead.
They have. Here is Kyle Manzardo. He was the first strikeout victim of Cabrera tonight, back in the first. He's been on a roll, though. 367 over his last 19 games with 6 home runs and 16 runs batted in. He's got a good mustache going. Starting to curl a little bit on him as he waits on the 2-0. Perfectly placed sinker in the inside corner. Manzardo, 25 years old, out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Coeur d'Alene, huh? Washington State. He's a Cougar.
He was drafted 63rd overall by the Rays in 2021. Peter Bendix knows him well. Traded for Aaron Savali. 2nd round pick, having a good career, parts of 2 seasons, played in 53 games as a rookie last year. Having a very good year. 120 OPS plus, that's 20% better than league average.
Used to have a PGA event in Coeur d'Alene. Real nice golf course on that lake.
And there is ball 4 to Manzardo. Taking 2-out walk. First walk of the night issued by Cabrera.
A curveball at the top of the zone. He just got underneath it a little bit. It didn't get on top and finish it off. Cut that curveball off. One of the reasons why it was up.
Here's Gabriel Arias. Rounded out in the first. This is, by the way, the first time since April 11th that Liam Hicks is catching Edward Cabrera. He has not been doing those duties with Cabby on the mound behind the plate. Hicks, that is. So you do wonder, Nelly, if that plays any factor into the ball game here tonight, if there's a comfort level or maybe lack thereof.
You know, a lot of starters have their favorite catchers. They stay in a rhythm with them. They know exactly what they want to throw in certain counts. They move well on the plate.
Arias lays off a slider. It's 3-0.
For me, it was all about I knew what I wanted to throw. I wanted to make sure the catcher moved a lot on the plate. I did not like anyone setting up down the middle, especially with 2 strikes, and it was a strikeout pitch. Get off. You have to move.
The 3-0 sinker misses ball 4. Back-to-back 2-out walks by Edward Cabrera here in the 3rd, and here comes Kefis. A little unusual there.
Well, mechanically, I'm going to put Perez in this conversation as well. Both of them really spin off of their front foot. What I'm talking about is when they go through their follow-through, they really spin off to the first base side. So you really have to concentrate when you're doing that to stay a little bit over the rubber a little longer and keep that front shoulder closed so you're not spinning off too early. Right there, see, you spin off a little early, so that means that front shoulder flies open, and then all of a sudden that arm really drags behind. You get a lot of pitches up and away. You really have to stay closed, and you have to drive that front shoulder to the plate. And even with Perez, he's 6'9", and the one thing that I really, I don't like a lot as far as tall as these guys are. I mean, you look at Sandy 6'5", Perez 6'9". Cabrera 6'4", 6'5". When you're playing baseball, you're always taught you want to stay tall. Utilize that height and utilize the length that you get down the mound. And sometimes when you're spinning off, you're cutting off. All of a sudden, you're a 6'8", 6'9" guy. The way you're throwing and spinning off to first, you become a 6'2", 6'3" guy. And you lose a lot of that height and a lot of that extension down the mound.
Well, we'll see if the mound visit from Hicks pays off. Chatted with Cabby after he missed the first offering to Kefis. Came back with a slider. Now the 1-1 is cut on to miss the 95-mile-an-hour changeup.
And this was a good one as well, even though he spins off. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing spinning off. See that front shoulder, how it closes off, and you're staying on top of the ball. And you're not getting that big spin, that big almost 360 turn to first and second base.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says James Jean at 3rd, and the inning is over. 2 strikeouts and 2 walks for Cabby in a scoreless 3rd. You think so?
Well, I mean, you already said winter's coming quick. I think 4 to 6 next week, Cleveland's supposed to expect.
Sent you an article this morning.
Yes.
Liam Hicks leads off the top of the 4th inning for Miami. 0 for 1 tonight, struck out back in the first. Both the Marlins and the Guardians scoring 3 times in the first inning here tonight. It is off the end of the bat into center field, down for a base hit. Third hit in the series for Liam Hicks. After a 2 for 5 performance in game 2, he's 1 for 2 tonight.
It's a 4-seam fastball out over the middle of the plate. Just punches in to center field. At 0-1 count. Nice job staying compact. Shorten up that swing a little bit, make contact with base hit.
So a leadoff base hit for the Marlins, and here is Otto Lopez. It was Otto who was at the plate in the first inning when he bounced into that fielder's choice. Arias picked up a weak ground ball at short, came to the plate. Hedges dropped the baseball. It allowed 2 runs to score on the E2. This Hedges is, that's hard to say, first error of the season. Hedges is 1-0. Is popped foul. Austin's been around. It's his nickname Hog. Below his throat. Top of that chest protector. Bo Naylor getting off his feet tonight. 1-1 coming to Otto. You know, the nice thing about baseball, Nelly, someone that won so many World Series like yourself, it's a long year, but you start in the bitter cold and you go through the dog days of summer where it's 100 and sweltering and humid, and the playoffs come back around and they open up the boxes of the jackets and the boys grab them and go because it gets cold again.
When you're in the playoff hunt and once September hits and you go into certain cities, you start smelling and feeling that cold air coming in.
It's a real thing.
Like, here it comes.
Here it comes.
We're not too far away from October.
Gets the juices going, I bet.
Yeah. This is no fun here playing in October. It is cold. I mean, when you're in the bullpen, you have a heater down there and you're able to stay warm. But once you get out on the mound, you're freezing.
Chopper towards third. That's a fair ball. Grabbed by Ramirez. Long throw to first. Not in time. Ramirez was lucky to even get to it. He snagged it. Made a desperate off-balance throw to first. Pulled Manzardo off the bag. And back-to-back base hits for Miami here in the fourth.
Well, it's a nice job to even get to this ball. And he's probably shaking his head because he probably thought, hey, I probably shouldn't have thrown it. You know, Lopez is hustling down the line. This is going to be an easy base hit. You're not going to be able to get enough on that throw to get him out. It might be interesting to see. You think Marcy sacrifices here? He's been swinging the bat. Do you let him swing, or do you make him move the runners over?
The way he's been swinging it, it'd be hard to take the bat out of his hand and ask him to bunt, you'd think. But if you asked him to sacrifice himself, it's pretty unselfish, and get a couple of guys in scoring position for Heriberto. Let's take a look at our Toyota trend tonight. As you might suspect, it centers around this man right here, Jacob Marcy, since August 1st. Look at his OPS. Better than Ohtani, Alonso, and Stanton. And Graham Pauley is 5th on that list. He's been the best player in Major League Baseball since his debut. Best all-around player. Not only has he done it at the plate that everybody watches, boy, he has shown that he's got the ability to play really good center field in the big leagues, too.
Well, the small sample size that everyone has seen here so far, this is his, 14th game?
Yep. First ever player in his first 13 games to steal 6 or more bases and record 10 or more extra base hits, as that cutter misses. And the count is 3-1 on Marcy.
Oh, good plate discipline as well. That was a nasty cutter down and in. Played more like a slider. And you had a hitter's count. You were ahead 2-1, and to be able to lay off that pitch.
3-1 coming. Fly ball in the air to right center field. Martinez is going back. Now he darts to his left to make the catch. Tagging from second is Liam Hicks. Throw comes into Rocchio. A productive out for the Marlins. We're threatening to take the lead once again with men on the corners with one away now for Heriberto Hernandez.
Here's a situation here with Lopez at first. You have a first and a third situation with one out. You know Hicks is going to break. An infield will most likely play back for the double play, obviously. Do you run? And I would say yes. You try to get Lopez on the move. For one, to stay out of the double play. For another, to get into scoring position.
So here is Heriberto after the flyout by Marcy that sent Hicks to third. You know, the one thing with Tanner Bybee too, when taking a look at some of his stuff today, when he falls behind hitters like he did to Marcy, he comes back into the strike zone. He's pounded the strike zone at one of the highest rates among qualified pitchers this season in hitters counts. That means when he falls behind hitters. So he doesn't like to walk guys. He likes to come right after you. He's only issued one walk tonight, giving up 4 hits. Marlins looking to retake the lead here in the fourth. A little worried about Otto Lopez over there at first. He's got the 11 stolen bases. He might be a little gun shy though. He did get caught stealing back in the first. Line drive up the middle, and that's into center field for a base hit. Rocchio couldn't pick it. That'll be an RBI single for Heriberto Hernandez. And the Marlins do indeed retake the lead. It's 4-3.
Oh, good at bat there, Kyle. Bybee gives him a 4-seam fastball right down the middle of the plate. Again, you're not reading swings. The first pitch was a breaking pitch. It was a cutter that he swung over top, and then you give him a fastball. So real good at bat by Hernandez. Good RBI base hit there.
Not a whole lot Rocchio could do either. That was a do or die play, and he tried to pick that ball on the backhand. I don't know if he would have doubled up Hernandez, but that ball was stung right back up the middle. So Hernandez sends it right back where it came from. And the Marlins once again have the lead in this ball game. Carl Willis with a chat with Tanner Bybee. He'll go back to the dugout. And for Heriberto Hernandez, it's his 26th run of the season batted in.
So this is what the issues have been with Bybee. A lot of pitches, he hasn't been able to stay out of the middle of the plate. Whether he gets behind hitters, here's a fastball to hit. Not reading swings, that was a fastball center cut. Hernandez took advantage of it.
There's the throw back towards second. Close play, not in time. You'd hear somebody yelling. I suspect that was probably Blake Lally at third. Watch this. What's the tell?
Well, it's a timing play. Again, you know, you look at the middle infielder, and once that head turns from the pitcher, you pick up the catcher. The catcher drops the glove, and then you spin around and throw.
Check swing. He went around.
It's a set play. You see that mostly used nowadays in baseball. You used to see the daylight play as well as when you have the middle infielder there come behind that runner and they'll flag that glove. The shortstop will, or the second baseman will flash their hand, and then you spin and throw.
And it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Troy Johnston.
Now with the pitch comm, I'm sure it's on that pitch comm when they have that pickoff move.
Troy Johnston 2 for his last 17 over his last 8 games. He's due. First and second with 1 out. And he swings and misses at a changeup, strike 3. 5th strikeout tonight for Bybee. Here comes Graham Pauling. Make sure you kick off your week with a 3-day showdown at Lone Depot Park. It'll begin Monday night with the St. Louis Cardinals in town. Saw them a couple of weeks ago at Busch Stadium. 3 days of exciting baseball. Can't miss deals. Plenty of good deals. Make sure you secure your spot at marlins.com/tickets. So here is Graham Pauly with 2 out in the 4th. Xavier Edwards on deck. Paulie batting after the strikeout by Johnston. Lopez at second, Hernandez at first. The throw back towards second. Almost hit Otto Lopez in the back of the head. Hedges is on his toes back there behind the plate. He's keeping a very close eye on Otto Lopez. There's the 1-0. Just outside. So remember, just told you, when Bybee falls behind hitters, he doesn't like to walk them. He pounds the strike zone in hitters' counts. Graham Pauley's got to be thinking he's going to get a pretty good pitch to hit right here. 2-0 is coming his way. And Pauley pops it foul downstairs just off to our left.
He was thinking the same thing. Thought he might get a fastball, got a cutter.
Graham 0 for 1 tonight, fouled out in the second. Lopez at second with Hernandez at first. 2 away in the fourth. And there's ball 3. Marlins snapped their 4-game losing streak last night. 19-16 are the Marlins against the junior circuit this season. Xavier Edwards is on deck. Marlins once again have the lead here in the fourth. And Paulie hits one foul. There's the fastball. He thought he was going to get 2-0.
Yeah, he got a good cut on it as well. He was right on that one.
So 2 on and 2 out, first and second. 3-2 pitch up coming here for Paulie. The runners will be in motion, but he's got to do some readjusting. Nice crowd on hand here at Progressive Field tonight. A good ball game. Rubber match between Miami and Cleveland. 3-2 pitch coming to Graham Pauley, and the runners will go. And there's ball 4. Sweeper missed outside. Second walk of the night for Bybee. And the Marlins have the bases loaded for Xavier Edwards.
Well, Bybee had Paulie 3-2, and he drops a breaking ball on the 9-hole hitter. Trying to get that sweeper to catch that outside edge, a little back door.
Look at Xavier Edwards' numbers with the bases loaded. 11 at-bats lifetime, a .364 average. And he lays off a first pitch fastball, ball 1. He's 3 for 4 as Edwards with the bases loaded this season. 6 RBIs and 11 runs scored. X 1 for 2 tonight, now 4 for 12 in the series. With a triple and a homer. They're loaded here in the fourth. In the air to right center field. Martinez has got it lined up. Marlins get a run, but they leave him loaded here in the fourth, and they lead 4-3 after 3.5.
incorporate here in the next couple innings to try to get ahead with that two-seam fastball and then go back to that curveball changeup. Curveball changeup are their most used pitches. The fastball is next, that two-seamer, but you'd really like to see more fastballs from Cabrera.
Well, David Fry leading things off for the Guardians here in the bottom of the fourth. Look, I mean, the offense supporting Cabby tonight. You get the 3 in the top of the first. Guardians come back with 3 in the home half of the first inning. Nice to see Heriberto Hernandez give the Marlins the lead here in the fourth. You know, it's really nice, too, and we were chatting about this. You have the 4-game slide, little funk, rough week. But it looks like they're starting to snap out of it a little bit.
Well, offensively, he's bailing out some starters. I mean, even Perez yesterday, I mean, he struggled a little bit in the innings that he gave, the 5 innings that he gave. A lot of pitches, and even Cabrera here. And Cabrera's just been outstanding. I mean, he's allowed to have a little speed bump in the road, but the offense is bailing them out, and they're putting together some real nice at-bats like they have before.
And he gets a swing and a miss on a changeup right here for another strikeout. That's his 5th of the ball game. And that'll bring Brian Rocchio to the plate. Good, nobody on, and 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Well, he got behind Fry 2-0. He got back and evened it up. There's that changeup down and in. You know, that's just a nasty pitch when you stay on top. And notice how he's not spinning off that follow through. When he's not spinning off, he keeps the ball better in the zone and down.
It's a good curveball down in the zone right there. It's nothing at 2 on Brian Rocchio, who's 0 for 1 tonight. Let's see, bottom of the order now for the Guardians. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 for 6. Here's a fly ball to right center field. This is hit pretty well. Hernandez is going back onto the track, and he makes the catch at the base of the wall. Nice play by Heriberto Hernandez. His 2nd really nice catch of the ball game.
Yeah, he caught that one up against the net. There against Rocchio as well. And he goes all the way back. I don't think he knew where the wall was. As soon as he stepped on the warning track, keeps his eye on it. Great concentration. Really good catch. I thought maybe this might have had a chance to get out. You look at the first 2 nights here. It's a little bit cooler, not as humid as the first 2 nights. I bet you if this was last night or the night before, that might have been a homer.
Out of here? Maybe. Ground ball left side in the hole. Otto's got it. Very composed. Throws out Austin Hedges to retire the side. That's a perfect 4th for Cabby.
bronze drum here at Heritage Park.
Well, thank you, Kelly. I love this story of John Adams, the drummer here in Cleveland. There's some shots. It's all the way up there, top of the bleachers and left. That's where John sat for all those years. Stowers gets into this, sends it in the air to right center field. Martinez has got it shy of the track. A little lackadaisical. And there's one away.
Well, I remember all the years I used to come here as a visitor. I mean, this place, they used to sell out. They had a consecutive sellout streak of well over 500 games. It was going on forever, it seemed. And even with the amount of people that were in the stands, you could still hear that drum. And there it is. It's way out into left center field, all the way at the top, and he'd sit right on the aisle.
It was a heavy drum, a very
heavy drum,
a big roar every time that John would hit the drum. You know the story of how he got started by any chance?
No.
There's not a whole lot crazy to it, but John first drummed at an Indians game on August 24th of 1973 when he was 21 years old. And a reporter for the Cleveland Press at the time, a local reporter, interviewed him and asked him if he was going to drum again the following game. And Adams said no, but the local reporter said he was going to. And Adams thought, I would never want to make a liar out of anybody. So he just kept on showing up game after game after game. And, well, it took on a little bit of a life of its own.
Well, hopefully they gave him some free passes or free tickets.
Yes, they did. After a little while, as Ramirez waves and misses at that cutter, the Indians promotion director at the time, her name was Jackie York. She approached Adams and asked him to play at every game. And so...
Did he ever miss? And if he did he have a substitute?
That I don't know. You see his plaque there, 50 seasons, John Adams, heartbeat of the Cleveland Baseball Indians organization.
If he didn't, that would have beat the streak of Cal Ripken.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a walk to Augustine Ramirez, and the Marlins have a one-out base runner here in the fifth.
84 pitches from Bybee. A lot of deep counts in these first 4 innings. 4 1/3.
So here is Liam Hicks. And for the one-out walk. Augustine Ramirez. You know, John in his will, he willed his drum to the team, and he actually is recognized in Cooperstown. A pair of his mallets were sent to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, they bronzed it on that bench out there, though. Kelly was sitting there.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I would love it if somebody picked it up again, whether it was for a charity every night, somebody different hit the drum. I don't know.
Well, it's not the same being
I know
as compared to the Indians. I kind of hope they bring the name back.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, no, I would like to see that as well. It had a very nice ring to it. Guardians is nice as well. One coming to Hicks. Wouldn't it be cool, though, to show up and whether the money is donated to a charity or local kid looking to get into music, or, you know, it's the rock and roll capital of the world. Somebody to bang a drum. Hicks 1 for 2 tonight. Waits on the 2-1 from Bybee. This will be his 88th pitch of the ball game. And he pops it up. Shallow left. Arias out. Kwan in. And it's Kwan who's got it. There's 2 away. Hey, the Atlanta Braves are coming to town. Cheer on the Marlins. National League East Showdown, August 25th through the 27th. Don't miss a moment of the action. Get your tickets at marlins.com/tickets. The Atlanta Braves erased a 6-0 deficit at Citi Field last night with a 9-run inning. And they took game 2 from the Mets 11-6. Those 2 teams playing a rubber match in Queens tonight. They're tied at 1 in the top of the 4th.
How about that? You score 3 runs in the first, 3 runs in the second, have a comfortable 6-0 lead, and next thing you know, they drop a 9 spot. I think that was like in the 4th or 5th inning.
Yeah.
4th inning.
Francisco Lindor and Ozzie Albies have combined for solo homers in that ball game tonight. Here's Otto Lopez, and he grounds one weakly to short. Arias will go the short way to second. to get Augustine, who never made it to the bag. Played 10 seasons with 6 teams, 2-time All-Star. He was a bullpen coach for the Mariners in 2023. That was his only professional coaching experience. And then he became the manager of the Guardians, and all he did was won the American League Manager of the Year award last season. Remember his memorable farewell in his final ever big league game with
Out with the A's, yeah.
Hit a homer.
Yes.
His kids were there. Did his kids call it? Did they call the shot, or I just remember the homer? I mean, he was crying. It was good.
Took this team to the ALCS last year.
Yeah.
As the Guardians manager.
Top of the order, due up for the Guardians here in the 5th, and it's quickly 3 balls and no strikes on Stephen Kwan, who's 1 for 2 tonight. Singled the left back in the first. Cabrera's walked 2. Juan Martinez and Ramirez here in the 5th. 3-1 coming to Kwan. There's 2 fastballs right down the middle of the plate. Thought maybe he'd take a healthy hack at that 3-1, but he laid off of it. Now the count is full. One of the better contact hitters in the game, 3-2. A breaking ball that he had fouled.
This would be a good pitch right here if you can throw that power change. Don't spin off the mound too, or that follow through too much. Stay on top of the baseball, get it go down and away.
Another 3-2. Pitching wedge down the right field line into the seats, foul. Was pitch number 7 to Kwan. And after it was 3-0, fastball, sinker, slider, 2 called strikes and 2 foul balls. Cabrera is 71 pitches deep into his outing tonight. After the 3-run first, if he could give the Marlins 2 more good innings, it could be a quality start. Kwan was late on that changeup.
Love to keep him off the base pass. He's got a lot of speed.
He is
tying run off.
He's really struggled since June.
He has.
He's hitting 184 in August. And there's ball 4. Curveball just missed high. Cabrera decided not to challenge him with a fastball. He instead elected to throw a breaking ball, and he missed.
Now the curveball was up. He spun off, and there you see a little bit high. Plate umpire Vondrak said no, didn't catch any part of the strike zone. Now you got to watch him over there at first. 11 stolen bases on the year.
There's Angel Martinez. They do indeed check on Kwan.
You got to figure if he's going to steal, it's going to be within the first couple pitches.
Bluffed right there, and the changeup is sent in the air to left by Martinez. Stowers makes the catch. Big first out for Tabby here in the fifth.
I was a little surprised he didn't run. He had a huge jump. Actually started off the bag before Cabrera started his windup.
I always thought he was a guy, too, that would steal a little bit more than he does. Now, granted, 4 seasons, he's got 63 stolen bases. Still 19 as a rookie. And there he goes. Pitches low, and the throw down to second is not in time. And he can really move. It's his 12th stolen base of the season. He had 12 last year. His career high was 21 back in 2023.
Well, he got a good pitch to steal on. A heck of a jump with the high leg kick and the changeup down. Really gave Hicks no shot of throwing out Kwan. Now with first base open, you really got to be careful with Ramirez here.
He's ahead of the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Got a slider. So Ramirez 1 for 2 tonight. Single RBI and a run scored in the first. Also stole his 34th base of the season. He tidied everything up in the first. Did a little bit of everything. As he waits on the 1-1. That's a base hit into left. Kwan had to hold. Throw coming in towards the plate. Cut off by Pauly. So Kwan stops at third. Off the end of the bat for Ramirez, his second hit of the night, just past the outstretched leaping glove of Otto Lopez.
Ramirez is such a good hitter. And Kwan had to hold up, like you mentioned, Kyle, just in case that ball was going to be caught. Now you have a first and third situation. You know Ramirez is going to take off here at first.
34 stolen bases with 1 in the first tonight. And you would suspect it wouldn't take long.
This is one of these plays that you know that Ramirez, the odds are he's going to steal the base, that you would fake to second and maybe try to catch Kwan off of third, maybe throw it down to third.
And there he goes, and no throw through. Head first dive by Jose Ramirez. He is safe at second. That's his second stolen base of the night. For a guy that's a bit shorter and he looks a little bit thicker, but he's really strong, my goodness, can he run. And now the Marlins, leading by a run, will pull the infield in.
They want to try to keep the ball on the ground. You know the Guardians are going to go on contact with 1 out.
Well, he's fallen behind Manzardo, 2 balls and no strikes. I mean, if he really trusted himself with the base open at first, Arias is a double play candidate on deck. 2-0 coming, and that's hit through the left side for a base hit. Ramirez is going to stop at third. It's an RBI single for Manzardo to tie the game. Kwan scores easily on the base hit, and we're tied at 4.
Yeah, that leadoff walk comes around to haunt Cabrera. Real good at bat by Manzardo. It was a changeup up that he just goes the other way. Ramirez wanted to head home.
Yeah, he had a head full of steam.
He did.
And Ruglis Odor, the third base coach, put on the brakes.
That throw might have went up the first baseline, and Ramirez might have had that.
Now Daniel Moscas out having a conversation with Edward Cabrera. Guardians threatening to take their first lead in this ball game. Gabriel Arias will be the batter with runners at first and third with one out. And with Manzardo at first, he's got one stolen base. He's not a total burner, but with all the speed at third, you'd suspect that the Guardians would probably force the issue here. They'd probably ask him to steal.
Well, and then, I saw this in the Oriole game that the Orioles wound up stealing a run. They had the man at first break and stop halfway. And because the fundamentals weren't great with the Mariners, the Orioles wound up scoring that run from third.
He doesn't go from first, and a first pitch slider misses outside to Arias.
Now, that was earlier in the ballgame. This is a little bit later where you have Cabrera on the ropes right now. You don't want to really give him an out, even though you want to try to steal a run here.
There's a wave and a miss. Back-to-back sliders.
We talked about this last night when Arias hit that 3-run homer. He stands so far away from the plate that, to me, he would have a hard time covering the outside corner. That was a really good slider down and away, and it probably caught part of the plate.
He's ready for the 1-1. That is blocked by Hicks. Here's the homer from last night. It was a hanging breaking ball.
Yeah, it was a curveball. You look, he doesn't really step into the plate. He squares up. I mean, that was just a cement picture out over the middle, and he tied the ball game there. He does the plate, but he doesn't.
2-1 is set on a line into right field. A sliding grab by Hernandez. Ramirez tags from third. He'll score. 5-4 Guardians, and they lead for the first time tonight. Another really nice play in right field, though, by Heriberto Hernandez. Well, he doesn't make that. So 2 runs are in, and that curveball just hit Kefis, who had seen 7 pitches in this game, 1 ball with 6 swings and misses, and he just hit him with a curveball. Not the best we've seen Cabby this season tonight, that's for sure. He's coming off arguably one of the best outings. Well, certainly that's not arguable, but maybe the best outing of his career is last time out against the Braves. Now runners are at first and second with 2 out. Here's David Fry.
Well, with 86 pitches, you wonder if the Marlins will get that bullpen going to try to keep it at least a 1-run game right now.
I'm sure that's what they're talking about down there in the dugout. That's a good curveball over the inside edge. It's 0-2 on Fry.
That's a pitch that I think Cabrera got away with. Fry wasn't expecting a hanger.
29-year-old DH waits on the 0-2, and he bangs it on the ground to first, but Johnston's right there to pick it up. He'll take it to the bag. 2 for the Guardians, and they lead 5-4.
What is that thing?
That's Pikachu. You just offended a lot of people, my friend. Marcy in the air to right field. And there's one away as Kafis goes back onto the track to reel it in.
What's Pikachu?
Pokemon. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Wake up. Make sure you stay tuned till the 7th inning for the stretch. Brought to you by Celsius. Didn't you see that viral video on social media the other day? Jacob Mizorowski. They were, after they won like their 43rd game in a row, he and the boys were opening Pokemon cards in the clubhouse. He pulled a rare Charizard, Nelly.
Really?
Really? Yeah, you say that. You say that
my
like.
goodness.
Oh, yeah.
A Charizard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How rare is a Charizard?
I'm really not sure.
What is a Charizard?
It's whatever a Pokemon is. Little creatures.
Guys, speaking of Pokemon and Mizorowski.
Hello, Kelly. Yes.
Hi, guys. I forget which Pokemon he had, but he had a Pokemon character stitched into his suit for the All-Star game.
Oh, that's right.
I don't think it was one of the originals, though, because it didn't look familiar to me.
Oh, man, you're right.
So clearly a big fan.
Mm-hmm. You got something. That stuff from like the 2000s and the late 90s is back in style.
Was it? My kids weren't into that. I'm glad.
Now, when you were playing, speaking of style, did you guys come in with the big baggy suits and stuff? You know, it wasn't as form-fitting. It's coming back.
You're right. They were a little baggy because we had to wear suits on the road. On every trip, every plane ride, no matter what time, we were all suited up.
Did you?
Oh, yes. Every team. It didn't matter if we got in at 9 at night or 4 in the morning. We were dressed in coat and tie. I had some teammates that I didn't see the same suit twice.
Come on.
Yeah. Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry, Ruben Sierra, I think they had probably 7 or 8 closets in their house full of suits, and I never saw the same one. And they could dress, man.
Hernandez to left field. Kwan is going back. And there's 2 out. And let's get you a quick message from FPL.
At FPL, we plan for storm season all year long. Training teams.
So nobody on and 2 out, and here comes Troy Johnston. Marlins led 3-0. Cleveland immediately responded in the first. Marlins retook the lead in the fourth before Cleveland got 2 back in the fifth. Johnston is 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 3 in the series, and now 2 for his last 19 at the plate. He did a lot of hitting in the minor leagues throughout the course of his long professional career. Marlins are waiting for that to translate over to the big league side, and then you're always tasked as an executive to say, is it translating? Is it not? If it's not, is it going to? And you ultimately make decisions if the player should be here, should not be here. It's all part of the calculus. 0-2 coming.
Well, it's tough when you spend a lot of years in the minor leagues. What do you have, 7 or 8 years in the minor leagues? He comes up here, finally gets his opportunity, and you do. You put a lot of pressure on yourself because you want to hit. You know you can hit. You want to show it up here because you feel like you belong.
Right.
Defensively, I think he plays a really solid first base. You can throw him in the outfield. Sometimes players will put too much pressure on themselves.
Good eye there.
It's a good at-bat right here. He was behind 0-2. So if you get a fastball to hit, maybe he can drive it somewhere.
From 0-2 to 3-2 on Troy Johnston.
I would say this is Bibby's last hitter. It looks like a lefty up in the Guardians bullpen.
It was Sobrowski loosening the lefty.
It's like 8 feet tall.
8-1. We saw him in game 1. And the 3-2 misses low and in ball 4. That's one of the better quality at bats and plate appearances we've seen Troy put together, and he's fired up about it.
Yeah, you absolutely love it. I mean, that was a great at bat. You're down 0-2 when you spit on a lot of nasty pitches, especially that 3-2 slider there, that sweeper from Bybee. You know, a lot of times you'll get a swing and a miss when that ball's bearing down at that back leg, but nice at bat.
Well, let's take a break. Tanner Bybee's night is over.
You'll see out on Utah Street at Camden Yards. And guys, I found it. Take a look. Here it is. Jim Thome, longest home run, 511 feet.
Jeez. Well, thank you very much. July 3rd of 1999. There's the Hall of Famer. Signature stance from the left side. And a lot of great memories did Thome in Cleveland. Eric Sabrowski, they call him Sour. The lefty is on to pitch. And Clayton McCullough is going to go to his bench. Javier Sanoja going to pinch hit for Graham Pauley. Sanoja 2 for 12 pinch hitting this season with a homer.
Well, Sabrowski's fastball, 93 to 94, has that big curveball that you just saw, and also a slider.
Fastball's in there with Denise for a strike on Javier Sanoja. He's 2 for 3 in this series. Here's the numbers for Sabrowski: 16 appearances and a real tidy 1.10 earned run average.
He pitched on Tuesday, 2/3 of an inning, 1 strikeout.
Runner takes off, and that fastball's hit foul.
Well, Johnston got a huge jump going on first move once Sabrowski lifted that front leg. Johnston was off.
And Troy can run, and he stole a bunch of bases down in the minor leagues. So the Marlins counter the lefty with the righty stick of Sanoja, who's behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here's a fly ball in the air to left field, pretty deep. Kwan's going back. He's onto the warning track, and at the base of the wall, he makes the catch. Sanoja gave it a ride, but it wasn't.
Got to be able to get through this, at least get the first 2 hitters. I think you relax just a little bit when Quan comes up.
There's Brian Rocchio to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning for Cleveland. Javier Sanoja pinch hit for Graham Pauley. He stays in the game. He's at 3rd. Well off the bag and in on the grass, I should add. Now the question will be, do you let Cabrera face the leadoff man Quan for a 4th time in this game?
Well, it looks like they may have Enriquez up. I'm a little surprised they don't have a lefty, but Enriquez against left-handed hitters is pretty good. Where's that? Lake Bacher? Lake Bacher's up.
Zipping up those New Balances. Digging into that mound out there in the bullpen. Rocchio beat that sinker off of his foot. And a member of the training staff, along with Stephen Vogt, had to make sure he was okay. Rocchio, Hedges, and Quan to bat for the Guardians here in the 6th. Curveball in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count on Rocchio, who's twice flown out tonight. And there's a swing and a miss on a 95-mile-an-hour changeup. 6th strikeout of the ball game for Cabrera after he had 11 in his last start.
Well, good changeup. You know, when he stays closed with that front shoulder, doesn't spin off to that first base side, that changeup is nasty.
There's a swing and a miss on an elevated sinker that time from Cabby.
Hedges is just trying to hope that he gets a fastball to hit out over the middle. He wants to start that swing early.
Hedges batting 135. 3 homers, 5 runs batted in this season. .94 pitches for Cabrera. He's already at season high in terms of innings pitched. Still chugging along. 1-1 is yanked into left field. Down for a base hit. Hedges is on his way to 2nd. Throw comes in towards 3rd. 1 out double. And we'll see if that's it for Cabrera.
Well, his first at bat, he got a fastball after a poor swing on a breaking ball. This time he can't catch up to the fastball upstairs, and you hang him a slider. Hedges was hitting 128 going into today's game, and he has 2 hits. The 9-hole hitter for the Guardians.
Now Liam Hicks is going to take a real slow walk to the mound, and that might just be to buy Lake Bacher an extra pitch or 2 out there in the bullpen, and it is. Here comes Clayton McCullough. That's going to spell the end of the night for Edward Cabrera. So the Marlins will go to the bullpen.
be frozen next week because of the winter storm that's coming in.
Lake Bocker's coming on the pitch here. Speaking of lakes, for the fish. Okay, now this is what we live for here. Look at the lake comparison. Okay, now Lake Superior, a little over 1,300 feet deep. Lake Erie, 200 feet deep. Lake Okeechobee, only 12 feet deep. Lake Bocker, 6 feet 2 inches tall.
And Lake Superior is probably, I think, the third or fourth deepest lake in the United States.
Now the largest is Lake Superior,
Right.
Not the
deepest is Crater Lake.
Yeah,
out in Oregon.
So here is Stephen Kwan batting.
That's why they call it Superior.
I get it. We're in the land of the Great Lakes. I dropped one on you last night.
You did?
A nickname for Cleveland that you were unaware of. That almost got by Hicks.
Yeah, quite a few.
America's North Coast.
Yes, you had quite a few in this trip. Or this series here.
Seatown.
City on the banks or whatever you called it.
Nope,
earlier.
Never said that.
Something on the banks.
Not sure. 1-1 coming to Kwan. Drops over for a strike. Kwan, kind of in vintage form here tonight. He saw 22 pitches in his first 3 at-bats.
Let's see if we can get a ground ball. He's got a really good split. Bockert has. Two good sweepers right there. Try to climb the ladder, maybe change the eye level. This would be a great time to see if you can throw that split down in the dirt.
2-2 coming to Kwan with Hedges at second. You know, a ground ball or base hit of any variety here to the outfield does not guarantee that Hedges scores because he's really slow. I thought maybe Stephen Vogt would pinch run for him and ask Bo Naylor to come in and catch the rest of the way. 3-2 swung on it, missed strike 3. Got him with a back foot slider. Important second out for the Marlins here in the 6th. It's real big out there.
That was a real good pitch. Only saw Kwan did one fastball in that sequence. It was a 6th pitch against that slider in the back leg.
And here is Angel Martinez. Fly ball in the air to right field. Got underneath it, sending Hernandez back onto the warning track. He's got room to make the catch. Side retired. Nice job by Lake Bocker on the relief of Cabby. Today's daylight a little bit lighter up north than it does down home in South Florida. Sun setting on a beautiful Thursday night here in Cleveland. We started this ball game about 80 degrees. And right now it's 75. Clear skies, little hint of a breeze. Beautiful night for a ball game. Marlins going to have to come back to win this one tonight. Sobrowski will stay in to pitch for the Guardians. Came on in relief of Bybee in the 6th. And top of the order due up for the Marlins here in the 7th. Nice work, by the way, for Lake Bacher on in relief of Cabrera to strand that runner at 2nd in the bottom of the 6th. X is 1 for 3 tonight. And he hits that fastball foul. It's 1-1. He singled in the 1st to run his hitting streak to 9 games. Stowers and Ramirez to follow. Marlins got 3 runs on 2 hits in the 1st. They've had 3 hits since, all of which came in that run-producing top of the 4th. Did he go? They said yes. That was really close, Nelly. The body went. I'm not sure the bat did.
That was a slider down and in. It looked like he might have not been able to hold up. Let's see here. Trying to get out of the way, and I don't know.
See, the bat doesn't go. The body does, but the bat doesn't go. Now it's 1-2. That pitch misses high. If Edwards can find his way on base, you love your chances of scoring some way, somehow here in the 7th as Hunter Gaddis loosens the righty. 2-2. Slider misses high, ball 3. Valente Belloso and Ronnie Enriquez loosening in the bullpen for Miami. And there's ball 4. A leadoff walk issued by Sobrowski. And he has issued a walk to the wrong man here to start the 7th inning. Xavier Edwards is on base.
Yeah, leadoff walks. Now the Marlins got to make that hurt a little bit. Edwards has some speed, and Sobrowski, even though he's a left-handed pitcher, you can steal off of him. 6'4", 230.
Let's see how quickly he decides to try to go. Well, he was going back on that first pitch.
Yeah, he didn't get a good read. Again, if you want to try to steal off of him, you want to try to see his move. Get him to throw over. Get enough lead that you can get back, but also make Sobrowski throw over.
And there's a throw over.
That's what you want to see. Sometimes it's not the best move, but relievers really don't have great moves.
Yeah.
A lot of starters usually do. Relievers, they're more concentrated on the hitter. There's that snap move. There's that second time. Now, he doesn't hang there, so he might be an easy guy, like hang that leg up and get you to commit. So he may be a guy that, hey, you take off right now.
There he goes. And it's pop foul.
Again, you swing at a pitch that Edwards had that base stolen. You got to let him steal the base because, for one, Stowers is probably hearing someone from the Guardians. He's off, or there he goes. Look at that jump by Edwards. He probably could have stood up and not had to slide. That's the second time that has happened to Edwards.
Now it's 1-1 on Stowers. We'll see if X wants to go again. He's not going. A slide step this time, and Stowers pops it up. And when you go from a 1-0 count and what would have been an easy stolen base to a pop out by Stowers, and Edwards can't get himself to second. And now it'll be Augustine Ramirez's turn. Make sure you celebrate Dominican Heritage at Lone Depot Park on Saturday, August 23rd. Ticket package includes an exclusive Dominican Heritage jersey, plus entrance to an epic post-game concert. Rep your roots, party at the Depot. Get your tickets to the Fiesta at marlins.com/Dominican. Pitching change for Stephen Vogt. Hunter Gaddis coming in when we return. Fourth appearance. We saw him in game one, tossed a scoreless 7. Faced Lopez, Myers, or check that, Lopez, Hicks, and Hernandez. Here's a throw over to first, and Edwards dives back in safely.
Well, fastball slider change. Sliders is most used pitch. You're going to see a lot of those. Fastball in the mid-90s. Now, this is a little bit different situation. With Stowers up and with Edwards going, you got to take a pitch. Now, if Ramirez sees a first pitch fastball, you got to unleash.
It's a first pitch slider that he lays off of, ball 1.
You got a guy that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. I know Stowers has a lot of power.
Ball 2. Augustine doubled home a run and scored a run himself. Scored on the E2 by Hedges in the first. And he walked in the 5th. Tanner Bybee went 5 2/3, allowed 4 runs, 2 earned on 5 hits. 2-0 coming here to Augustine. There goes X. The pitch is a called strike, and the throw down to second base is not in time. And that was a center cut slider for Ramirez, but some serious discipline to not swing to get Edwards in a scoring position.
Right, and probably not a pitch that he wanted to swing at anyway. He's probably looking fastball. You get behind, or you get ahead in the count 2-0. There you see the lead from Edwards. Got a big jump. Gaddis is a big guy, 6'6". Pretty slow on the mound.
A little bit closer than I originally thought, but he got that left-handed there. So 2-1 on Ramirez. Base hit. Should tie this game here in the 7th. And a 2-1 coming. Chopper hit towards third. That's a fair ball. And Augustine is out at first. Now there's 2 away. The batter now will be Liam Hicks.
A lot of sliders from Gaddis. That's what righties are going to see.
Well, it's 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position tonight. Cleveland 3 for 9. Hicks is 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored back in the 4th. Watching all the way at fastball, misses low and in, ball 1. Four runs, 5 hits for the Marlins, 5 runs, 7 hits for the Guardians. In a rubber match tonight here in Cleveland. There's ball 2 on Hicks. That slider missed well inside. Otto Lopez is on deck. A lot of ball game left. Watching all the way, Hicks takes a strike, 2-1. This is a ball game. The Marlins led 3-0 and 4-3, but the Guardians have twice come back to tie it, and they took the lead in the 5th. 2-1 coming to Liam. Swing and a miss. Got a slider.
Well, you got to figure you're going to see it again.
Liam Hicks hitting .393 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position this season. Marlins in desperate need of a big 2-out hit here in the 7th. A 2-2 coming. We'll do it again.
Well, Hicks has gotten a good look at that slider. He's thrown 4 in a row.
Another 2-2 to Liam Hicks here in the 7th. Chopper out to second. Rocchio's got it. Piece of cake, side retire. Let's go to the 7th inning. Miami 4. New pitcher for the Marlins, Valente Belloso. Miami had double-barreled action in the bullpen. And they were going to bring Enriquez, I'm sure, into this game if they tied it or took the lead. But now that they're trailing, it'll be Belloso to come on to make his 24th appearance of the season.
Well, Bacher did a nice job getting it out of that jam in the bottom of the 6th, 2/3 of an inning. I thought maybe he might go out for more to try to keep it at a 1-1 game. Now it's up to Belloso.
He last worked game 2 on Saturday against the Braves, allowed 3 runs on 4 hits, 2 innings of work, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Got knocked around by Matt Olson and Drake Baldwin. Here's Jose Ramirez in a 1-run game to start the bottom of the 7th. Jose Ramirez 2 for 3 tonight. 0-1 pitch coming from Belloso to Ramirez. There is a loss in it here for Cabrera tonight unless the Marlins come back. Being a win in it for Tanner Bybee. Ramirez singled and scored in the 1st, singled and scored in the 5th. He has stolen 2 bases tonight, has an RBI. He does it all. And he sends this out towards the gap on a line in right center field for a base hit.
Got to get it in.
He is not going to stop at first. There was a little bobble. And Ramirez is safe at 2nd.
I think it's going to be a base hit and an error on Hernandez. I think Hernandez thought the same thing, that Ramirez was going to try to go for 2. He was going to hold up at first. As soon as he sees that ball go underneath Hernandez's glove, he takes off for 2nd.
Picked up his head at the last second, didn't he? Wanted to see where Jose Ramirez was, and it cost him. Here is Manzardo. Cleveland could play a little small ball here if they wanted to, as Manzardo lays off a curveball. Single, E9. Second error of the season by Heriberto Hernandez, his first committed in right field. Guardians have 8 hits tonight. That's a little unusual because this is not a team that just knocks it around the yard for 8 to 10 hits a ball game. They're 29th in the league in average, hitting just .228 as a team. Back half of the pack in doubles and triples. 1-1 coming to Manzardo is sent foul down the left field line. And the one thing the Guardians will try to do, regardless of their bullpen issues in terms of the 2 guys that are out via the gambling issue, that bullpen's very good. So they just look to get to the back of it. A very small lead. I'm sure what Manzardo at the very least here, Nelly, trying to do, just get him over, and then somebody will try to get him in, and he'll take a 2-run cushion in the final 2 frames.
Well, Manzardo poked a base hit the other way, and at this at bat, he's looking like he wants to go to left field. I would like to see a cutter or a fastball in on the hands. Got to watch away.
And the 2-2 is grounded to first. Johnston's got it. He'll take it to the bag. That's the get him over portion of the program for the Guardians here in the 7th. And now it's up to Arias or somebody else to get him in.
You throw a changeup and you allow them to hit it to the right side. I would like to see something hard in. Manzardo did his job. Now the infield's going to have to come in and realize that Ramirez will go on contact with 1 out.
So here's Arias, 0 for 1 tonight with a walk and a sac fly. Guardian trying to pull to within a half game of the Yankees in the American League wild card race. Fastball misses up and in, and Arias is going to tell Stephen Vogt to take a look at this. He thinks he got hit by that pitch. At this stage of the ball game, you might as well take a look, actually.
Yeah, they're going to.
Why not? You could try to initiate a crew chief review after this anyway at any given point, so might as well take a look.
Well, it might benefit the Marlins anyway. I mean, you look at it, it's 1 out. That puts Arias on first.
Yeah, I'm following you there.
And you could get a double play out of Kafus.
Now, I agree with you. Here's a look at the replay, but he'll probably just try to steal immediately. Arias thinks he was hit.
Ooh, did it brush the hand? Those fingertips?
Sometimes the dead giveaway.
Correct.
On these replays, when we crank up the sound for you, and you might be able to hear it just nick his mitt or his batting glove. All right, let's listen, see if you hear anything. It hit him. You can hear it. It hit him.
Well, you can see the facial expression.
Yeah, it hit him. You could absolutely hear it, I believe. You heard that little sound before it hit the pop of the glove. Slow it down. I think it might slightly change directions, but I thought it might actually be conclusive when you hear, when you listen to it again. Very close. Now, the one thing that the umpiring crew in New York can't really do is look at the facial expression of Arias. But he was pretty convinced right away that ball hit him. That's Phil Cuzzy. He's the crew chief here in Cleveland.
They're taking a while on this, aren't they?
Let's listen again after this slow-mo. Just listen.
Maybe slightly.
You can hear it.
Yes.
You can hear it hit him. So if it is a hit by pitch. Now, you know what I don't know? when New York is looking to render a verdict, if they do crank up the sound, you know what? I've never actually wondered that. Is it just visual and not audible?
It's a good question.
I've never pondered that, because I think there's enough there when you listen to it, but I'm not sure there's enough there when you look at it. It's very interesting. We'll have to get to the bottom of that.
This is one of the longer reviews I can remember.
You got somewhere to be?
No, usually it's a couple minutes. Yeah, we got to do in Boston.
I really got to find that out. Can they listen? I assume? Because you'd always want to listen. There we go.
After review, the call is overturned. It is a hit by pitch. Runner goes to first base. Cleveland will return their challenge.
I am really led to believe there, Nelly, that the only way that you could overturn that is by listening to it.
That's a great question. That's something that ought to be asked if they do listen to that hit by pitch, because you're right, you could hear it a little bit, how it just nicked those fingers before it went in the glove.
Our fabulous crew is on the case.
Yes.
They're calling New York, and they're going to find out right now for us. We'll get back to you momentarily. So first and third, but the question is, how long is Arias going to take to run?
Well, he's got 4 stolen bases. He's not really a base stealing threat.
Well, Ramirez at third with all that speed, he probably can't risk throwing through.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, you better make sure that you're going to be able to get Arias at second. Lopez goes a little bit closer to second base. They're both, all infielders are in.
Here's Kafis, the runner goes, and there's no throw down. It's an easy stolen base. All of a sudden, the double plays no longer in order. Another stolen base for the Guardians here tonight. That's number 4. 2 by Ramirez, 1 by Kwan, now 1 by Arias.
That's a scenario you really never used to see. You had first and third, you have one out. Usually in the past, you would have the middle infielders back playing for that double play, and in that way you might keep the runner at first, and you try to keep him a little bit closer to the bag for him not to steal. Instead, now you see the infield in.
Now the question here with Kafis is, how much do you attack him? You have a very light hitting David Fry on deck. And you could pitch C.J. Kafis very carefully if you're confident that Belloso could keep the ball down in the zone and maybe try to induce a ground ball off the bat of David Fry. If that is a direction you could go here. Then it becomes a high wire act. 2-1 coming, and Kafis grounds one over the head of Belloso. Lopez has got it coming to the plate. The throw is not in time. Ramirez was off on the crack of the bat. That bounding ball was just in the air for far too long.
Yeah, that's a play that I know Lopez wants to make a good play and be a hero and throw it to home, but that's almost impossible to get Ramirez at home. This is a high chopper. You see Ramirez's lead. He's got a great secondary. Once it goes over top the mound, the easy play is just to get the out at first. I know Lopez wanted to try to make a play there, but next to impossible with the speedy Ramirez.
Boy, he can run, can he? Jose Ramirez. A similar situation. So now Arias is at third, Kafis at first, but is he just going to take off? Ooh, a squeeze play was on, and Fry bunted that foul.
This is a situation here. You have Arias, decent runner, not slow, not fast. You know, I know you want to cut the runner off, but with Fry, he's a double play candidate. You know, you would maybe even play your infield halfway. It's really going to be tough to turn two, because their first play is probably going to try to cut that run off.
Fry has bounced into 2 double plays this season. Kafis is at first, Arias at third. Neither runner goes, and Fry hits it foul. It's 0-2. Squeeze play on, but didn't work. On the 0-2, he just got a piece of the sweeper. Coming back our way. All right, let's go back to the hit by pitch. New York has told us they do not use audio cues, only visual. The tight center shot showed the ball change directions right there.
Yeah, you could a little bit, right?
They clearly didn't hit the knob. They saw a change in direction. There was enough to overturn it. Now, if the umpire in the field hears something, they can always, have a chit chat with the crew. They can use audio clues. That's interesting.
Good question.
No, thank you.
Every once in a while, you come up with it.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Counts a ball and 2 strikes on Fry. Runner goes, and that's yanked into left field for a base hit. Arias will score. Kafis slides in safely at third. And the Guardians are starting to open this one up in the rubber match. Now it's 7-4.
Deja vu all over again here, Kyle. Third straight time with the first and third situation for the Guardians.
And Fry really doesn't run well, but I guess he could take off if he wanted to. And another squeeze was on, and another foul ball.
I think the Marlins knew it because Sanoja was right on the throat of Rocchio. He was charging before the pitch was even off, before he even squared around. You watch, the pitch hasn't, he didn't even square around, then he goes.
And another one.
We got a 3-run lead. I know you're trying to add on. That was 2 poor bunts from Rocchio. After the first one, if you're voting, you got to take it off.
Just applying as much pressure as they possibly can. And Nolan Jones is pinch running at third now for Kafis. And there's a line drive into right field. The runner was off. Jones will score. Fry will stop at third. And here we go again. It's another first and third opportunity. But this one all of a sudden feeling like it's just about out of reach.
Well, after 2 poor bunt attempts, you get a changeup. Rocchio does inside, supposed to be away, hung up out over the middle of the plate, and with the infield in, that's an easy base hit. Kyle, you said Fry was on the move.
And unfortunately, Daniel Moscas out to chat with Valente Belloso. But they might just need Belloso to wear it the rest of the way here tonight.
Well, and again, first and third situation, Rocchio runs well. Only 5 stolen bases. He does have some speed. I imagine he would be off to the races.
3 runs, 3 hits. And it's 8-4 Cleveland now here in the 7th. And here's Austin Hedges, who doubled in the 6th.
No one up in the Marlins bullpen.
Now again, it might be a situation where this inning hasn't gone well, but you might just ask them to go back out for the 8th. Cutter's a called strike, and it's 0-1. So Fry is at third with Rocchio at first, and he can run. I doubt the Guardians would take the foot off the gas pedal here. Tokyo may want to run from first. And they'll check in on him. Ramirez with 3 hits tonight. Hedges at the plate with 2. The only Guardians who have multiple hits. Big swing on that cutter from Belloso. Marlins led 3-0 and 4-3. But since it was 4-3 after 3.5, the Guardians have scored 5 unanswered to take an 8-4 lead. And 3 times here in the 7th. That's shot out into left center field. Marcy slipped. Now he comes on and he makes the catch. Fry will tag and score from third. And now it's 9-4 on the sac fly.
That was a heck of a recovery by Marcy. Looked like the initial move, he slipped. It's a hanging breaking ball. Watch. He comes back in. He thought that was going to be a little bit deeper, and as soon as he slipped, that was a great recovery. He quickly gets back up, and a great job of keeping his eye on the ball. A lot of times you lose the sight of the baseball when you fall like that.
And here is Stephen Kwan. A 4-run bottom of the 7th inning for Cleveland. Three runs. Maybe 4 runs. And this one's getting away. Juan back up for the 5th time tonight, and he sends this to center. Marcy's going back. And the inning is over. 4 runs, 3 hits, an error, and 1 man left on here in the 7th for the Guards. On Tuesday night in the 6th inning. Faced Wagaman, Stowers, Sanoja, and Edwards in that outing. He'll face Lopez, Marcy, and Hernandez here in the 8th. Well, Lopez 1 for 3 tonight.
Wainwright, good fastball, good control. 93 to 95 on that fastball, slider, changeup.
2 shot in the air to right. And Jones is there. 1 away.
Hitting now the center fielder, Jacob Marcy.
Jones in right, Martinez in center, and Kwan in left, and Ramirez, Arias, Rocchio, and Manzardo still on the infield. Jones the only defensive change. There's 1 away, and here is Jacob Marcy, who's had a quiet 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out looking in the first, flew out to center in the 4th, and lined out to right in the 6th. Can hang on and win this game, and the driver's seat to do so. Will be just 1/2 game back of the Yankees in the American League wildcard race. The Mets have a 1-game lead, speaking of New York teams, over the idle Cincinnati Reds tonight. The Mets have given up 2 runs at the top of the 8th inning at home to the Braves. Speaking of being a 1/2 game up or a 1/2 game back, and there's called strike 3 on Marcy. The Mets lose that game, they'll be just a 1/2 game up in the National League wildcard standings on the Cincinnati Reds, the surging Reds led by Terry Francona, who open up a really big series tomorrow night against the Milwaukee Brewers.
And the Mariners go into New York. They play the first 2 at Citi Field, and then they go to Williamsport for the Sunday night game.
And Hernandez pops this up left side. Ramirez is there. It's quick and easy. 1-2-3, top of the 8th inning for Nick Enright.
Wow, an hour and 5, very specific.
I looked earlier today. Hour and change, is that better? Beoso stays out there in the 8th inning.
I actually like the right on the money, 105.
As long as nothing goes wrong.
Yes.
Angel Martinez 1 for 4 tonight.
I like the assertiveness there. 105.
Wheels up. Take off the touchdown. Had to account for taxing. It's 10 minutes each way. Ground ball to second. And there's one out. And it will not be Jose Ramirez. His night is over. It will instead be Daniel Schneemann to pinch hit. We've seen Schneemann in this series. He's 1 for 8 in the series. No homers, no RBIs. He's the only Cleveland hitter with consecutive 3-hit games this season. Schneemann hitting .314 over his last 15 games. 5 extra base hits, 4 RBIs. And he plays all over. Center, second, third, right, left, short. Years old, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. It's on a 1-1 from the left side. Change up, 1-2. So that'll be the last we see of Jose Ramirez this season. That was fun. Now it's done, and that's okay. Jose Ramirez has tortured the Marlins throughout the course of his career, and he hasn't seen them a whole lot. Jose Ramirez came into this ball game tonight hitting .333 over 15 games. Lifetime against the Marlins of 5 homers and 15 RBIs. As Schneemann flies out to left, and Jose Ramirez was 3 for 3 tonight. 2 stolen bases, an RBI, and 3 runs scored. Pretty good.
First baseman Kyle Lanzamiento.
There's Kyle Manzardo. He's 1 for 3 in this game with a walk and an RBI single. I have just received a text, Nelly, that the flight has been filed at 58 minutes.
58 minutes?
Must be a nice tailwind.
Yeah.
That's the file. It's on the books, brother.
Pretty close. 105.
I looked earlier today. It must be the winds have picked up. The westwardly winds have picked up.
Must be that cold front that's coming in to the East Coast.
Could be the outer parts of Aaron, yeah.
Aaron's pushing these planes to the east.
Oh, goodness. (9-4) Cleveland here in the 8th. Turnaround for the boys tomorrow night, but it won't be due to a lack of juice, because I promise you, the way that the Red Sox are playing, Fenway Park is going to be rocking on a Friday night. Make no mistake about that.
Weather's going to be nice.
It's going to be perfect.
Sunday will be a little toasty in the 90s, but I think Friday is going to be around 80.
It's tomorrow.
78, 80 tomorrow. Yes, exactly. Getting a little froggy over there.
No. High of 77 tomorrow, low of 66. Inning over, we'll go to the 9th. Marlins trail. night at Fenway. He will go opposite of Lucas Giolito, who's 8-2 with a 3.77 ERA. Troy Johnston leads off the top of the ninth inning for Miami. 0 for 2 tonight to draw a walk in his last trip to the plate. Well, pitching totals for the Marlins tonight: 5 1/3, 5 runs, all earned, 7 hits for Cabrera, who was spotted the 3-0 lead before he took the mound. Performance I'm sure he won't be all that thrilled about. Like Bacher got a couple of outs, and then Valente Belloso allowed 4 runs on 3 hits over an inning and 2/3. For the Guardians, Tanner Bybee, 5 2/3, 4 runs, 2 earned, 5 hits. Zabrowski and Gaddis combined to toss an inning and a third, a scoreless ball, and Nick Enright tossed a scoreless 8. So the bullpen has been very, very good tonight for the Guardians. And the 2-2 coming to Troy Johnson. Chopper hit softly out towards short. Well, by Arias, the first in time. And there's one away. And here comes Javier Sanoja, who flew out to left, pinch hitting for Grant Pauley in the 6th.
Number 46, Javier.
Yeah, so I thought the ball that Sanoja hit in the 6th inning might get out of here. I guess I didn't get enough of it. But the way it sounded, the way it looked off the bat, I thought, oh my goodness.
Yeah, he got a hanging breaking ball. I thought, oh, here we go.
And one on Sanoja. It's a chopper towards third. Schneeman's got it. Throws him out, 2 away quickly.
First off-speed pitch from Enright. Nothing but fastballs. That was a slider that time.
Edwards with a ground ball up the middle and a base hit. To the right of Rocchio. Second hit of the ball game for X. He'll take it.
Another multi-hit game.
Stepping to the plate.
It's at 38, I think.
Number 28, Kyle Stowers.
You get a little selfish if you're Edwards. Keep an eye on that batting average as you try to chase down Will Smith. 2 for 4 night for X. It's a 509 at the plate. And Stowers just clipped Hedges.
And I don't know how he didn't get hit with the pitch. I mean, he swung. It looked like out of protection. That was right at him. Jeepers. This ball's right at him. I don't know how he even got a piece of it. He did get a piece of Hedges, though.
Hit softly into center field. Going out there, unable to make the catch is Arias, and Edwards will stop at second. By the way, so X tonight with a 2 for 4 night, Nelly. He's now batting .307. So you better look out, Will Smith.
Well, jam shot. Ball is supposed to be away. Just gets over the head of Arias. Guardian bullpen is going to have to get up now. Get a little interesting here with 2 outs.
Here's Agustin Ramirez. Stephen Vogt trying to usher Nick Enright through 2 innings here tonight. Augustine is 1 for 3 at the plate. His bench coach Craig Albernaz sitting right next to him. High fastball called a strike. It's 1-1. Guardians about to be just a half game back of the Yankees in the wild card race. They're playing their 59th game of the season tonight at home. They're 120th in total. And on the verge of improving to 63 and 57. 2-1 hit foul, and now the Marlins are down to their final strike. Ball game that really started in a promising fashion for the Marlins went south late. Misses outside, ball 3. So the runners will be in motion. If Ramirez gets on, the tying run would come out to the on-deck circle. And the slowest fastball he's thrown in this outing. That was 91 miles an hour right down the middle of the plate. Another 3-2. Low ball 4. He walked him. There was nobody on and 2 out. And after back-to-back base hits by Edwards and Stowers and a walk by Ramirez, the bases are loaded for Liam Hicks. And now all of a sudden there's a save in this game because the tying run has come out to the on-deck circle. There's a save in it. And that might be all for Nick Enright. Stephen Vogt might have to go to his bullpen here as Hedges is going to buy some time out there. Here he comes. Wow.
Yeah, looks like Cade Smith's out there. He pitched on Tuesday, pitched an inning and a third, got the win in that game on Tuesday.
This is the last thing that Stephen Vogt wanted to do, but it's become a necessity. Cade Smith is coming on for the final out and a save in this game when we return. Pitch to Liam Hicks, who's 1 for 4 tonight, is a fastball for a strike.
Now, a lot of things have to happen for the Marlins to come back and tie this ball game up. The Guardians just took out their best player, only up by 5.
Now it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Liam Hicks. Yes, they did. There was nobody on and 2 out. Edwards singled. Stowers popped one softly to center. Ramirez drew a walk. Smith is on for Enright, who couldn't finish it. Otto Lopez is the tying man. He's on deck. Edwards at third, Stowers at second, Ramirez is at first, and Hicks has really got a fight here. Down to the count, no balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch is hit foul.
Oh, 3 straight fastballs. I wonder if he comes here with that split finger.
Other 0-2. And off a high fastball. And remember, Cade Smith is pitching. There's no Emmanuel Clase. Here's a line drive hit softly out to short. Arias has got it, and the ball game is over. Guardians take the rubber match by a final score 9-4 tonight. Marlins did not go down without a fight in this one.
No, they didn't. They came up with a 3-0 lead. They gave it right back to the Guardians in the first inning. Tough start for Cabrera, 5 1/3, giving up 5 runs. They did make it interesting until that 7th inning. They were only down by 1, and then 4 runs for the Guardians. Opened this one up. They did load the bases, had the tying run on deck, but they came up short, losing the series to the Guardians.